Welcome back, everybody. This is cuzmegustan. In the last part, we retrieved a letter from a man organ player named Diddle. And in this part, we're finally going to actually start unlocking new lands. First one being, well, the only one for this particular episode being the Flame, and you want to put it right next to the Luan Highway here and watch the scene unfold. And it grows into a pretty neat town, Gato Grottos. And we will just casually meander over here as we prepare ourselves mentally and physically for the next quest we will be going on. Unfortunately, it's not a terribly exciting quest, but you gotta get through the not so exciting ones so that you can do the super exciting ones. And to top it all off, we have a Sproutling, which is not what I was going to talk about. We have the Flame of Hope, which is also not what I was going to talk about. We are finally going to finally, a new weapon used for murder, as opposed to using a weapon for something constructive, like helping tiny school children like this kid. For just 80 lucre a day, you can help this kid overcome his fear of getting murdered by a two-hand axe wielding nutjob. So there's a sick Sproutling, and it's our job to help him. So the first part of this quest is basically just going to be running around chasing after this Sproutling as he realizes that the world is a terrible place and everybody's out for themselves. He currently has a popo bug in him, which is the world's greatest medicine, and that none is trying to remove it from him, which will, I'm assuming, cause pain, because if you're nothing but leaves and someone tries to remove one of your leaves to get a bug, that's basically like peeling off a piece of your skin. And I'm assuming it's painful. So then you also have this guy, his name is Rubens. Let's talk to him for a brief second. He's the firekeeper for this town, and apparently a thief is after the Temple's Flame. The Sproutling looked a little suspicious. The inspector exaggerates everything. I can't remember if I showed you oh, what was that? Oh-ho! A clue? A clue? What is this, Scooby-Doo? I don't know if I showed off the inspector. He was residing in Domina, but his duties caused him to have to make a quick trip to the bathroom, and then his job caused him to come here to investigate the potential theft of the Flame of Hope that is in this temple over here, and it's probably where the Sproutling... Oh, look, it's where the Sproutling ran off to. Let's talk to the Sproutling as he dances around this nun. And this nun is none too pleased with him dancing. And I should probably stop skipping through the text so quickly. Calm your soul and all worldly pains will vanish. But it hurts. Oh God, it hurts. You must meditate. Everything is in your mind. Somebody help me! And then he dances away like a dancing fool. And we have to go after him. Like we do. My face is full of hurt. I went to a beach yesterday, and it's currently July 4th. Yesterday was the 3rd, but the tradition in my household is to see fireworks on the 3rd on a beach in Plymouth. And it's currently July 4th at night, and I have absolutely no plans except feel the pain of my sunburns all across my face and my arms and my back, and play this game, and potentially read some books or something. I don't know. We will see. And I live close enough to fireworks that I can hear them going off, so if you hear explosions out of nowhere, I assure you that I am most likely fine, but I make no guarantees. cutting through the rocks to make pathways. We can't get to the flame of hope in our hearts without a top. I did not read fully what that guy said, but those two clearly are having a disagreement because Rubens is a nice guy and he doesn't want to hurt anybody, and the nun wants the popo bug to cure people, and Rubens doesn't want to do it, and he's saying life is like a box of chocolates, you gotta cut through the rocks to make your path, and oh my god, a dead person! Let's just casually... No, we have to investigate. Our moral code tells us to. Oh look, Inspector Boyd. Someone's extremely excited. Twisted... Oh! She's not dead. That's unfortunate. I mean, great news. Blast it, Sandra! So apparently this woman named Sandra is tied into this whole thieving mess. And now we have Inspector Boyd on it. There's a Sproutling, a nun, Mr. Rubens. This is like the most ridiculous game of Clue ever. Trying to solve the mystery of the twisted ankle. And there's another altercation over here that we need to observe. Yeah, Mr. Rubens, you not gonna do it. You just gonna sit there and be all shifty-eyed. Don't mock me. I'll mock whoever I want to. Doesn't want anyone interfering in his life. Doesn't even care. I never really... I thought Rubens... Hey. I thought Rubens was a cool guy, but I mean... It's the woman he loves, and he's not willing to go to extreme measures to try to save her. And now he's dead, and this nun is trying to get him to cry. And she rips out his heart, and we're just standing here observing all of this. I wonder if I could have just thrown my axe at that nun and saved his life. And then Inspector Boyd shows up late as usual with his tea kettle ears, yelling all over the place, thinking it was me, which isn't very nice. Sandra is a master of disguise. So at least we have our corpse quota filled out because there actually was a murder. Let's see what Rubens has to say. If you were so sorry, why didn't you do everything that you could? I just don't understand, man. I guess that's a philosophical question for you. Would you be willing to harm someone if it meant saving someone else that you loved? I would like to say no, but I mean, honestly, if you think about it, I suppose it depends on how much you care about the person that you knew. And I'm completely ignoring the story of this game, or of this particular quest. Basically, Mr. Rubens was what we refer to, or what the game refers to as Jumi, and they are a race of people that have gemstones for... They're called cores, but I always thought of them as their hearts. And obviously their names are based off of their gemstones, and actually the flash from his core, Rubens' core, if you remember, Elazul and Pearl had the same flash. So if you think about it, Pearl is named Pearl because her core is a pearl. Rubens, his core was a ruby. Elazul is a lapis lazuli. And this is where you buy weapons. I'm going to pick up a two-handed axe because it's what I do. I do not wish to talk to you any further. And I'm going to equip it right now. And go up 6 attack points. Offensive points. And the Jumi are involved in my favorite storyline of the game. And then you have this thief, Sandra, stealing all of the Jumi cores, or as many Jumi cores as she can find, because they're apparently very valuable. They hold magical properties, and there are a few shady people that still deal with them, or deal, like they trade in them. They're basically ivory. Jumi cores are ivory. Everybody wants them, and they have to be killed in order to get them. And we got some Shadow Zeros here, which are the perfect enemy to test our newfangled weapon on, and I am just doing an abysmal job of it. They are Shadow Zeros. So, the Sproutling took off, and we need to find it, and you basically just follow the green leaf road to get it. Get it. Go on, get it. Get it, get it, get it. Get it, get it, get it. I'm sorry if I'm not being terribly exciting. This quest isn't terribly exciting, and there's not a whole lot worth mentioning, except for these two. These guys are unfortunate Rattler boas. They have one ability where they do that, and occasionally the timing works out. It looks like it's going to be working out right now, where they'll squeeze you and strangle you, and then they'll, as soon as you're out and your invincibility frames have gone away, they'll just hit you with it again, and you'll just keep getting stuck in a motion of getting squeezed and then let go, and then squeezed, and then let go, and then squeezed, and then let go, and it's really aggravating, and I have a long-standing hatred towards those enemies, but it ain't nothing we can't handle. I always go to the left there, and I know that I shouldn't, because the path is actually taking you to the right, because this is where the leaves are. And if there's one thing that we've pointed out, it's that you need to follow the leaves. Follow the leaves, follow the leaves. This is a song now with woods that we're going to chop down with our flying saw blades. And their names are Wooding. That is a very original and descriptive name. Hey buddy. Got wood. Oh, and he didn't even give me any experience. Those are enemies that have a tendency to explode into extreme amounts of experience, and they're nice. But we made it to where we gotta go. Well, part of where we gotta go. Imagine, that's not the word I want. Remember this waterfall, it will become important in about 10 to 15 minutes. But for right now, we're going to carry on past it to something that will become important in about 10 to 15 hours, except not that much. I can get rid of the pain you feel. Really? No, not really. You're going to feel a lot of pain. You can tell because I just twinkled in my eye. That's clearly not a good sign. Oh, more company? Now I have you, Sandra. You're going to pay for what you've done. No one will ever catch me. Ta-ta, everyone! And then she grapples away. And if you observant watchers will remember that that woman that just walked away was the same lady that we saw in the very first quest that told us that we need to hurry because Pearl was in danger. And that was in fact Sandra. And so everything's kinda coming together, except there's still a lot of pieces that are missing from the puzzle of the story of the Jumi. But with that, she makes off with Rubens' core, the Popo Bug, and Inspector Boyd's ego because he was unable to catch her. And we make off with an artifact, a new two-handed axe, and a general feeling of being underwhelmed, and a story to tell our cactus. So let's go do that. Actually, first I'm going to check and see how our crops are doing. Well, 2 of them have grown in. As you can see, you've got these small ones here, the ones that I'm directly underneath, but then you have these big ones here that are capable of being harvested. But what I tend to do is just wait until they're all capable of being harvested and then pick them all at once. So I'm going to leave those for a little bit longer. And talk to my cactus and tell him how fun the quest I just did was. Even though he probably won't care all too much. Talk to him. Popo bugs are friends. Nah, I wouldn't go that far if I were you. But with that, I unlocked a new part of the map, and I got some new killing weapons, and I think that's good enough for one episode. In the next one, we're going to be having more fun in Gato Grottos, and we're actually going to be unlocking another new part of the map, and it's one of my favorite parts of the map, and it involves some of my mixed feelings characters, but I'll get into that in the next one. So I've been cuzmegustan. If you like this video, please hit like if you really like it or just want to keep watching. I would recommend subscribing, and leave any questions, comments, or concerns in the comment section below, and I'm sure I will respond to them. And I'll see you in the next one.